You're watching E.T.N. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're gonna talk some DC. Yes, DC. Now, I wanted to do this video last week, and especially considering that this week starts up the next few episodes for The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. And unfortunately, I get to do that. I've been very sick. I still have a sore throat, but that's the only thing lingering from my flu that I've had for a couple of weeks now. But I really wanted to talk about what happened last week with the return of Arrow, the return of Flash, the debut of Legends of Tomorrow, and finally the wonderful presentation that DC had on CW. So we're going to try and cover that all in this video. So my goal is to keep it at 10 minutes. But if you listen to this portion of the video now and then you see the video is like 15 minutes, obviously I failed at trying that. But we're going to try and keep it quick because I really want to talk about what DC did on their presentation. But quickly, I want to get back into what I thought. I want to talk about what I felt about and what I thought about the return of Arrow and Flash, as well as Legends of Tomorrow. So let's start with Flash, because that came back on Tuesday. I thought it was a very good episode. Very surprising that it looks like Patty might be moving on from Barry. And I'm hoping it doesn't go that direction, but it kind of makes sense if it does. Look, Barry really cares for Patty. Patty really cares for Barry, obviously. And after having his dream with how Zoom was, or Zoom killed her in his dream, obviously he's going to have a fear. And I think he's going to come to a decision whether he wants to tell Patty and put her at risk, but stay with her, or let her leave Central City with her frustrations, thinking that Barry's hiding something. And even though he knows it'll hurt her, it'll hurt him, her leaving Central City may actually keep her safe. So I think we're going to see that. It's unfortunate. It's one of the few relationships on the CW that I really, really enjoyed watching. And I think it was because it wasn't, it was just very cute. I just think that the two actors had great chemistry and it showed on screen. So, and the opening of that show with Zoom was crazy too. I mean, obviously we knew it was a dream, especially when he dropped Patty, and Barry, instead of running down the building, just sits there and screams. You knew it was a dream. So, I thought the Wally West portion with Joe, I thought that was good as well. I thought he was a little bit unfair, considering that Joe didn't even really know about him, and he kept taking jabs at him like, oh, you're a detective, even though you had a son. All right, yeah, I get that. But I thought he was a little hard on him, but it was nice to see that at the end it looks like they're going to try and start from scratch and build towards something, and hopefully that works out. So an interesting thing about his choice of occupation regarding Wally. So I thought the first episode back from the Flash break was great. I thought it was really good, and it really is building towards something. Tomorrow's episode is going to be fantastic. I probably will do a review on that episode, considering it's going to be the Reverse Flash. So we'll see what happens there. Moving on to Arrow. Now, Arrow I didn't think had as strong as a debut for the second half as I thought Flash did. I was very disappointed that they're going to continue to linger on with who is who is dead, who's buried. We know for a fact now it's not Felicity, but we all kind of expected that. I'm starting to guess that it might be Diggle now. I'm starting to change my tune here, because now seeing Felicity's reaction as well as Oliver, I think Diggle or Laurel could be the only two. I don't think Captain Lance would have that strong of a reaction from Felicity, and I don't think even Laurel would have that kind of a strong reaction from Felicity. Not that Felicity wouldn't be upset, but I don't think Laurel would bring that kind of fury. Diggle, on the other hand, I think is the one that would bring that kind of fury from both of them. So, but we have to wait. We had a very interesting villain, but it was a villain that we've seen before. It was just standard stuff. It was kind of a filler show to me, if you will. And when you consider how cool the villain was on The Flash the night before, the one who can stop time, the Turtle, and then coming back here and we got a villain that we've gotten before, the way they build up towards Damien Dark leading into the end of the first half, and now we're going to the second half, and it's very little or next to nothing of Damien Dark. Continued questions when they made it seem like we were going to get answers to who was buried. So. But still it was decent. It was okay. There's still a lot to look forward to. Just a disappointing return, in my opinion. So, In terms of Legends of Tomorrow, I thought Legends of Tomorrow was very, very good. I was very entertained, very excited. It gave me the feeling of wanting to see more when the show was over, which is a good thing. If I had to criticize it, the only thing I would criticize is the beginning. The first half was really moving fast. But in some ways, that's a good thing because we want to get to the action where we see all these people working together. I thought the reveal that Hunter was kind of leading them astray in terms of calling them legends, and now it turns out they're not legends. They're nobodies, and the reason he picked them is because they have no effect on history. But now it seems like they have an opportunity to make their impact on history, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a very interesting show, a ragtag of groups, a ragtag of people. This group is just like out of nowhere. When you mix them up, the Canary, Captain Cold, Heatwave, Firestorm, Atom. It's a very, very mixed pot of personalities, and I think that's what's going to make the show very good. I want to see my most anticipated character of this show is going to be Captain Cold. I really want to see, because we've seen small little hints of Captain Cold and do things the right way, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see him. And I think Heatwave is going to be the one that's going to be the comic relief of the show. I get that impression just from the first episode. So those three shows, looking forward to watching them this week. Obviously, this is all talked about last week. Depending on how impactful the Reverse Flash show is, tomorrow I will do a review if something crazy happens. To me, it's already crazy that Eobard's back, but we'll discuss it tomorrow if we get a chance. Now, in terms of DC, and let's see how much time I have here. I want to keep it at 10 minutes. We're looking at 3 left. Okay. I'm going to try and do this in 3 minutes. I thought last week was just a great week for DC overall. When you talk about these 3 shows, 2 very successful shows and the debut of another one, and then this presentation they gave for, their universe coming to light now with the Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad later this year. It was very exciting to see that. It was very exciting. I'm not a DC fan. You guys know this. I have maybe 2 characters in the DC universe that I really love. This is one of them. And then the other one's Superman. I've always liked Superman. And I like Batman too. My love for Batman has kind of waned over the years because he's just out there so much. But I still enjoy, those are like the 3 superheroes from DC that I really enjoy. Batman, Superman, and The Flash. So to see the little bit of history behind it was really exciting for me because I don't know as much as some of you guys. And unfortunately, at this time in my life, I can't just sit down and play catch up. I don't have time to sit down and read comics. So it was nice to get a little bit of history on some of these characters. I thought this was a great opportunity for DC to take advantage of their presence on the CW, where they get a lot of millions and millions of people viewing their shows, and show people what they have planned. And it's just exciting. It's exciting. I think that DC is going to definitely be very, very fun and good competition for Marvel. It's unfortunate a lot of people do the versus stuff, DC over this and Marvel over that. I'm just fun. To me, at my age, when you growing up during the 90s and they had the Batman show and all this stuff, they used to have the Spider-Man show and the X-Men and all that. To see these characters on screen for me is just a dream come true. This is just so exciting. And I'm finally happy that DC is getting back into the fray. I know I joke around a lot. I give DC a hard time. I really do, and I always will. But that's not to say I don't love the characters. I think the characters are great. I wish I knew more about them for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are here. You like to watch my content, and I wish I knew more about DC so I knew what I was talking about. But the best I'm going to be able to do now is TV shows and movies. And it's funny. I think the next couple of years are going to be very, very exciting. For both these companies. I mean, DC has had the TV presence. Marvel seems to be making a good, strong pitch for that. Marvel has had the movie presence, but DC right now looks like they're off to a pretty good start. We got to see Batman versus Superman, which looks very good. I'm starting to get a little bit more and more convinced about this, especially now we get these TV spots. They're interacting. Suicide Squad, I have to admit, though, that's the movie that's really got me intrigued. That's the movie that, I look at Batman versus Superman, and I'm like, man, that looks so fun. But then I look at Suicide Squad, I'm like, that's going to be interesting. And I think it's a gamble of a movie for them too. Much like what Guardians of the Galaxy was. I mean, you have a movie full of villains doing good things, and they're not. even if they're doing good things or they're fighting bad guys, they're not going to do it in they're not going to do it in a way that represents good morals. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be a very interesting concept. I kind of wish it was PG. I wish it was kind of rated R, but PG-13, I guess, will have to, suffice. But overall, last week for DC was very exciting for me. It was very exciting to watch all those shows, the presentation, the first look at Wonder Woman, which looks fantastic. I'm really, really more and more. I know a lot of people had questions about Gal Gadot back in the day. I never questioned it because I feel that actors, even if you don't think they're talented, it doesn't mean they're not working on their craft, and it doesn't mean that they can't implement themselves in a role. So far, from what I've seen, very little, I think she's going to be fine. I think she's going to be fine as Wonder Woman. And I think she's gonna make a lot of people eat her words. Same thing with Ben Affleck. I think look, I'm not a Christian Bale fan. I'm not. I thought he was horrendous. I'm surprised so many hardcore Batman fans love Christian Bale's Batman, because I thought he was horrendous. I thought he was the worst Batman. All right, maybe not worse than George Clooney, but he wasn't better than Val Kilmer, and he wasn't better than Michael Keaton. I don't care what anyone says. The reason those movies were successful is because of the great supporting cast of actors like Michael Caine, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Morgan Freeman, Heath Ledger, of course. Those collection of characters is what carried that series. And I'm not saying that Christian Bale didn't do anything. Obviously, he played the major role, but his Batman voice was ridiculous. And his Bruce Wayne was just, I know Bruce Wayne is dark and all that, and he's got a lot of demons, but he's not that depressing. Now, this Ben Affleck looks like he's going to be a little bit on that depressing side, but I just think he's going to pull the character off overall a lot better than Bale did. I don't think Bale was very good at all, but we'll see. We surpassed 10 minutes. I knew it was going to happen. We're at almost 13 now. So, but anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I wanted to do this video last week, but last week I was sick all week. The week before that I was in the doctor's all week. So, but I'm feeling much better now. Just fighting the sore throat. And but we're definitely gonna probably talk about Flash tomorrow after the show, so stay tuned for that. I'm aiming to do that, especially if the show is very impactful. And we got other stuff coming out this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We got other videos coming. But until then, let me know what you thought about last week, with the shows, especially the DC presentation. I want to know what your thoughts were on that, so please share it in the comments. But other than that, guys, that's it for this video. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers, or visit E.T.N.'s Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.